Hello, everyone. I want to share some thoughts with you again. This time it is about the the Untouchables, as they have been called in India, and why I suspect that they are Israelites. Now, I have mentioned them before in a few comments to people, but I decided to actually at least look at Wikipedia on the Untouchables, and I found some things that are very interesting, almost telling, in my opinion. And so, one of the first things that jumped out at me when I looked at the Wikipedia entry for the Untouchables in India is that I saw the word Dalit being used. I know Dalit or Dalit is a Hebrew letter, and it means the door, I believe. And so I decided to look that up as well because I'm pretty sure it was a door, and it does say under Dalit or Dalith that it is the fourth letter of the Semitic Jabs, whatever. Um, but it is let me see here. The letter is based on the glyph of the Proto-Sinaitic script. I don't know what that is. Probably called Dalt or Door. Door in modern Hebrew is Delit, and ultimately based on hieroglyphs depicting a door. So anyway, fourth letter of the alphabet meaning a door, but it is a Hebrew. It is found in Hebrew. I mean. So going back to, I just think that's interesting because it also says that um, it said they were previously known as the untouchable, but I believe they were self-identifying as Dalits, and I just think that's interesting because it's a Hebrew letter. But here's what really jumped out at me: the word Dalit in Sanskrit means broken or scattered. Also means broken. Broken can also be similar to crushed. So crushed and scattered. Now let's just go to Deuteronomy 28. You know why we go to Deuteronomy 28 all the time? I know people get sick of this chapter being brought up, but it's important. And let me show you why. First, I'm just going to start with um, I don't know the exact verse that I want to start with to just show you why it's important. But the Most High says, um, where is it at? Here we go. Down here. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, and for thee they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So these curses are a sign of who the Israelites are. Now let's go back to Dalit or the Dalit, again, Hebrew letter, the broken and scattered. Now what did the Most High do to the Israelites? He scattered them. Let me go to verse, I believe it is verse 29. I also want to show this. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Now that sounds like an untouchable, right? The untouchables, if you were to befriend an untouchable, you were automatic, not maybe not automatically, but you did lose status. Now let's keep reading. Because the Most High says this is important because he says it twice. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. Let's go down here to 33. Sorry, my mouse is just terrible. I need to work on this. 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. That would be whoever is living in the land now. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. What is a synonym for crushed? Broken. What did the Most High do? He scattered them. He said, thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. And back up here in 29, he said, thou shalt be oppressed again and spoiled evermore. So back to the Dalit, let's read about them a little bit more. And let's see how the sign is upon them. The term Dalit is a self-applied concept for those called the Untouchables and others that were outside the traditional Hindu caste hierarchy. I can't read all that, but so some Hindu priests befriended Untouchables and were demoted to low caste ranks just for befriending them. And Dalit is a vernacular form of the Sanskrit Dalita. In classical Sanskrit, this means divided, split, broken, scattered. This is what they are identified as over there in India, as a scattered people. Let me see here. Where is there? I am going to scroll down to something else that I wanted to show. Let's just go. I think it's in demographics. Let's see. Sorry, this mouse. All right. I can't remember exactly where, but it said that. Where did it say? Oh, here it is. I think this is it. Similar groups are found throughout the rest of the Indian subcontinent. Less than 2% of Pakistan's population are Hindu, and 75% of those Hindus are Dalits. In Nepal, Bangladesh had 5 million Dalits in 2010, with the majority. Now here's the sign: being landless and in chronic poverty. They don't. They are landless. They don't own land, and they are in chronic poverty. Now, oh man, why do I always forget which verse it is? Um, let's just start here. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shall set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. That sounds like what the Hindus are doing. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword, a Dalit, and untouchable. Those are bywords. In America, the Black American is called a N-bomb. Among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. Here's just see. Thou shalt have. Where's it at? Um, stranger. This is another one that applies to them. The stranger that is within thee shall get high, shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. That is a sign. Again, I think they fit that. Uh, Yep, there it is. There's the verse I was looking for. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Now let's also go down here. I want to also read. I want to specifically get the word scattered. We already saw crushed, right? Which is a synonym for broken. So let's just go down to uh, and I will read this one because I believe this one counts too. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither you go as to possess it. So when the Israelites were scattered, oh, there's the word right there. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And thou shalt serve other gods. There's that verse again. But again, they shall, God has scattered them. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. Thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of life. I'm going to go down again. Yeah, I wanted to see another verse, but it may not say here as much that they were scattered, but we all know that the word scatter is used pretty liberally when it comes to, not liberally, but often when it comes to Israel. So let's just go to Deuteronomy 30, where restoration is promised before the Lord returns. And he says here, I will go to verse 3, that, no, I'll start at 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse. If you ask me, it looks like the untouchables are under a curse. I mean, look at this, man. Is this how they're living? That looks that looks like a curse to me. I've seen people living like that in Thailand too. And okay, and whither the Lord thy God has driven thee, and thou and shalt return unto the Lord thy God, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart, with all thy soul, that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion on thee, and will return. The Lord is going to return after the Israelites do these things prior, and shall and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee. Whether the Lord thy God hath scattered thee. I just think that is so on the nose that their name, they are literally called broken and scattered, crushed and scattered. Well, it may not be 100% proof, but that is to me a very strong sign that the so-called untouchables in India are Israelites.